If I had $1 for every time someone commented, "The sun is free" on this channel, I'd have $5. And I'm going to use those $5 to keep the lights on while I film a video talking about why those comments make no sense. Now, before I destroy the logic of trying to think that sunlight could replace red light therapy, I'm going to actually defend the comments, and say why sunlight is the ultimate light source. There's two benefits that make sunlight better than red light therapy. The one is that it has multiple different wavelengths. Red light therapy will only focus on red and near infrared, but sunlight includes other wavelengths such as blue and ultraviolet. Now, many of these wavelengths are extremely important for your health. They help your body to make vitamin D, as the example from UV light. And then the second benefit that makes sunlight better than red light therapy is that it modulates throughout the day. This means that the type of light you get from sunlight in the morning is very different to the middle of the day to later in the day. This is what your body pays attention to when setting your circadian rhythm. A red light therapy device is not something that is going to dictate your circadian rhythm. Now, I will be fully transparent with you and say that a lot of red light therapy companies will say that their devices are better than sunlight because it can't burn you and it doesn't have ultraviolet. Now, I have never been of this standpoint. I made a video about 4 years ago where I clearly said that sunlight is still the ultimate source. Companies out there that promote red light therapy as, almost better than sunlight because it doesn't have the damaging rays. I'm not one of those people, and I'm going to clearly state it now. So while I'm not saying that red light therapy would replace sunlight, I also think vice versa. Sunlight will not replace red light therapy. Now that I've got that out the way, I'm going to give you 2 reasons why the comments about sunlight being free make no sense. So let's assume out of the 5 different comments that only one of them is not living out in the bush, completely naked and spending all of their time outside. The other 4 are doing that. They're eating bugs and they're living in the wild, but one of those 5 people is actually a modern human. Now, if you are a modern human, there are 2 reasons why you would need red light therapy. The first one is that you're generally covering your body with clothes. You're not getting outside and getting complete full sun exposure, and this means your body is starved of red and near infrared light. So when this one person does go outside and even if briefly gets full body light exposure, it's not going to be enough to actually stimulate their mitochondria. What red light therapy does is it focuses on the key frequencies that are needed to stimulate the mitochondria. Generally, that's 630, 660, and 850 nanometers. Now, if you only relied on sunlight in small doses in order to get that, you would never get enough of it. A red light therapy device will focus on, let's say, 660 nanometers, and if you compare that to sunlight, if they had the exact same light intensity, so they're both 100 milliwatts per centimeter squared, the sun is full spectrum, which means that of that 100 milliwatts per centimeter squared, only 1 to 3% would actually be the red wavelength at 660 nanometers. So trying to get short doses of sunlight in order to get your mitochondrial stimulation is like trying to get your protein intake by eating 100 heads of lettuce every day. Yes, the other 4 people might have time to eat lettuce all day, but for most of us modern humans, we don't have the time to be outside in the sun all day eating lettuce. Which brings us to the second reason why red light therapy is so essential for modern humans. If you are inside at any point under artificial lighting, you're being exposed to a very high concentration of blue light. Now, blue light is good for you when it comes from sunlight because it's balanced out with red and near infrared light. But if you're inside, you're only getting a very high concentration of blue and not enough red and near infrared. When you get exposed to so much blue light, it causes oxidative stress within your cells because it's not balanced out. So red light therapy becomes a way to bioharmonize and bring yourself closer to nature. Now, I've been sitting here recording this video under a bright white light over here, which has a ton of blue light. And we still have $2 left. So I'm going to use that to do a red light therapy session now in order to offset the amount of blue light I was just exposed to. If you are considering getting a red light therapy device, then it's very important that you know that not all red light therapy companies are honest about one specification in their products. So I've got a video over here, which if you are deciding to get a red light therapy device, make sure that you watch this first so that you don't waste your money.